Hey, Coach Jesse Mincher, got a different type of a video for you. Got another bit of a rant for you. Gonna kind of go off on some people on this one a little bit. My last one, if you didn't check it out, I'm gonna have a link somewhere up above that'll be popping up in a card that you can check out on why you won't make the NBA. And I actually, kind of laid it out for you, and a lot of you guys appreciated my honesty, and I appreciated you guys because a lot of you guys came out of it saying, hey, look, I'm gonna make the NBA. And the main message behind that video was, look, you gotta have drive, you gotta have determination, you gotta set the bar high. Don't say, oh, well, I'm not gonna try to set the bar high, try to make the NBA because then I'm just setting myself up for failure and blah, 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 when the fact of the matter is there's a lot of goals you can reach. But today I wanna talk to you more about some of the little things that, maybe, okay, you have the drive, maybe you're setting the bar high, but what are the other things that 95% of players aren't looking at that keeps them from getting to the NBA, right? There's gotta be something else because there's a lot of players out there that work their butt off and never will make the NBA. They have, they're setting that bar high to try to make the NBA and then just never make it. And maybe that could end up being you. And again, like we talked about in the other video, there's other opportunities that will come just from becoming great at basketball and the values you learn. But let's talk about what are the other things you got to do to get there. So some of the very first things that we got to talk about is being coachable, right? I mean, if you're a great player, I've seen this a million times, if you're a great player and you don't want to listen to your coach, apply what he's telling you, and you don't show up for team functions, you show up late, you give them a bad attitude, you don't hustle, all those little things, yeah, those matter. A lot of the little things that you guys might not think matter, they matter, okay? Because at the end of the day, you can get mad and you can blame your coach, oh, coach isn't playing me. Coach is a jerk. Okay, maybe he is, but guess what? He's still in power. He still decides how much you play. And what do you think is gonna happen if you don't play much in high school? You think you're gonna go to college and play a lot there? You think you're gonna get a scholarship? I really doubt that. Same thing when you're at the college level, right? You gotta be coachable. So the little things matter: hustling, paying attention, listening, applying what your coach says, doing what he asks you to do, being the first one there, being the last one to leave the gym. All those little things are not little things. Coaches notice that. Those are the big things. They show you have drive, they show you have determination. That's another opportunity for the coach to see what you can do, okay? Maybe you're mad that, oh, coach never gets me a chance to play in the game. Coach never watches me in practice. Well, maybe it's because you're showing up to practice 10 minutes late and he sees you 10 minutes less. When there's a kid that shows up 30 minutes early, coach sees 40 more minutes of that player. Number one, the coach says, this guy's got some drive, he's got some determination. And number two, coach can see what that player's doing. Be that player. Don't be the guy that just wants to get mad and whine about it. Get out there, do what you can to show that you're willing to work hard and that the coach should be playing you, right? So that's a big one, is the coachability aspect. Another big aspect that you definitely have to think about is just paying attention to the little things and being willing to, be critical of yourself, take criticism from others and make adjustments, okay? So what I mean by that is, a lot of players like to just go out on the court and just do whatever they feel like doing that day, chucking up shots. Maybe you'll go a little more intense, focus on one thing, or maybe you'll spend the whole time saying, I got to get up 500 jumpers, and that's all fine and dandy. That's great. That'll help you. But if you're practicing bad habits, it might not help you. In fact, it might make you worse. Now, if you're being smart about it and practicing things that you're going to be using in a game situation, absolutely, that'll help you. But you also have to be paying attention to some of the details, right? If you're practicing a crossover a million times in a way that doesn't work, guess what you're gonna get in a game? A crossover that doesn't work, a crossover that gets ripped. That's why I've been making a lot of videos lately, why your this doesn't work, why this doesn't work, why this isn't working out for you, why you can't do this in games. Because you have to pay attention to a lot of the details that I'm going over in those videos. And you have to be willing to, take criticism from a coach that's gonna give you feedback and say, hey, look, I've noticed on your crossover you need to do this, or I noticed you're lacking intensity in this certain situation, or you don't pay attention to this detail when you're boxing out. All those little things, they're gonna make a huge difference in your game. Your coach isn't just there to nag on you, or even teammates may be telling you that, or a parent. I know a lot of you guys don't like to listen to your parents. I have superstar handle sessions out here in the summer and camps a lot, and I'll talk to the parents beforehand, and they'll be like, yeah, I've been trying to tell my kid to do this, this, and that. And I'll watch them like, well, maybe the parents, a little off in what they're saying, but we'll see. Do the camp, do the sessions. I'd say about 95% of the time, I agree 100% with what that parent's saying. So guys, I know you don't like to listen to mom, listen to dad. I was the same way when I was younger. Listen to your parents though, especially if they have a little bit of knowledge about the game. There's a good chance they might have some good advice for you, okay? So, obviously take everything with a grain of salt, but for the most part, be willing to at least consider it, right? Say, if your parent says, hey, I noticed on your crossover that you have a really low ball in hand time and one of your two hands isn't on the basketball during it, maybe try to increase that ball in hand time. Maybe that's something they wouldn't say, that's probably something I would say. But just as an example, if they're telling you that, pay attention to that. Say like, okay, maybe I'll pay attention to that. And then videotape yourself, watch yourself. Say, okay, yeah, maybe they're right. And you watch the video and there you go. You'll know if you are or if you aren't, right? And now you know what you could focus on in your next practice. You could pay attention to those details. Same thing with your jump shot. The details matter. Defense, offense, everything. Every single skill, there's details that matter. And a lot of you guys I know like to just think, well, sometimes I'll even get comments on my videos, Coach, just show me the move. Quit talking so much. Are you serious? Like, do you want to learn? Like, that's the point of the video, is to show you how to get better at doing things. Not just okay, just go out there and try this. Who cares about all the little details? The little details are what make the difference in those milliseconds that matter in a game. That little angle matters in game speed, right? That inch you need to get the shot off. That inch you need to create separation to get your jump shot off. Okay? All those little details matter. They add that extra element of control. You'll make more of your shots. Your crossovers will be more effective. The details matter. So don't, watch a video or, have a coach tell you, something about a detail, or what, have me explaining a detail in a video and he's like, well, just show me the move. I just want to go out there and start doing it as quick as I can. And then you're practicing it a million times doing it the wrong way and it's not working in a game because you don't want to take the time to focus on what makes it work and really hammering it down. Like I'm sure you've seen a lot of the guys, like watch Chris Paul. Chris Paul don't get me wrong, he's crazy skilled. This is not a knock on Chris Paul. He's skilled, he's pretty quick, all that, but really he doesn't stand out athletically. Same with Steph Curry, he doesn't stand out athletically. But both those guys, guess what they do really well? They pay attention to the details. They execute, they have their timing down, they read their defenders. All those little things, they pay attention to. It's not just about them putting in hours and hours and hours in the gym. Yeah, that helps, but they also focus on those details. That's what gives those shorter guys, and maybe you're a shorter player, that's what gives them an edge over the bigger players because they really understand, the IQ side of things, the technique side of things, honing their craft, not just putting in hours in the gym. Obviously that's a big part of it, but then in those hours in the gym, making the most of them, right? Getting more out of them by putting in good practice. That'll make you more coachable, and that'll make you a much better player, help you improve a lot more, get more out of your practice. So now you can get noticed, right? That puts you in position, so now you're on your high school team, your coach is going to give you more playing time, you're going to look better in games because you're doing more practice, you're putting in good practice, and you can start getting recognized, right? Okay, your coach is giving you playing time, maybe you can make All-State. Nowadays with YouTube, social media, all that stuff, that's another way you can get noticed. I mean, it's a lot more possible to get noticed from a small school now than it's ever been. So you guys are in a pretty cool era right now. I mean, huge opportunity ahead of you to get some recognition no matter where you're from and whatever the case may be. I get comments all the time, people saying, hey coach, I'm from such and such country. Can I make the NBA? And no matter what, my answer is like, yeah. And then players, the next question always is, well coach, how can I make it to the NBA? How can I get into a college in the United States or wherever they're trying to play? And my answer is, get great. Nowadays, I mean, a lot of that stuff will work itself out. I mean, obviously, put yourself in situations maybe where you can get some recognition in AAU teams and your high school team, but at the end of the day, you can be in a million teams, and if you can't perform, being in all those teams isn't going to help you too much. You got to be able to get out there, get some playing time from the coach, and then you have to be able to perform to a level where people are going to take notice. That's where people start talking, things start going viral on the internet, right? You start getting recognition. Next thing you know, maybe you'll get some scouts watching you. Maybe you'll get that college scholarship. Maybe when you're in college, you perform there. Now all the lights are on you, right? Especially if you play D1. Now that possibility of going pro is a lot more real, right? So pay attention to all those things. And one last little quick thing I got to throw in there because we're talking about details with YouTube, social media, all that stuff. Pay attention to what you guys are putting out there on social media. You might think that doesn't matter, but I'm sure about once a week, probably more than once a week nowadays, you always hear about some scandal with such and such employee or even some big CEO or whatever says or does something or tweets something or puts something on YouTube. Fired. Okay? And the same thing happens with student athletes. In fact, there's a lot of, you probably see a lot of stories like this. Not so much with high school, but definitely in college with, college student athletes, they did something, they punched someone or whatever. That gets out on social media. They tweet something stupid. They put something stupid on Facebook. Pay attention to what you guys are saying because whether you know it or not, yeah, college coaches, they're going to look up that stuff. They want to know, like that's another piece of being coachable. They want to know if you're a good person. They're going to have problems with you on or off the court. they're not going to give a scholarship to some guy that's going to get in trouble, and then next thing you know, well, you're not even on the team. We just gave you this scholarship and you can't even play. What's going on, right? They're gonna do a little background on you. They want to know that you're a good teammate, a good person. You're gonna be coachable, and that you're not gonna get into trouble. So pay attention to the stuff you guys are doing on and off the court, on social media. That stuff matters. Okay. That's my rant for the day. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button, subscribe, and get on that notification squad to catch the newest videos. And top link down below, you can get a free workout, the Defender Destroyer workout. That'll help you get recognized by a lot more coaches, and show that you're skilled on the court, and just help you play better on the court so you can score more points, get more assists, all that, and all by improving that handle so you can create more off the dribble to create all those opportunities. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more, and if you guys want to see more of these types of videos, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to rant for you guys. I just like sometimes getting away from the moves and stuff and giving you guys a raw breakdown of kind of what it is. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.